EU will probably just end up winning again. I mean, that's just how it goes, and it's just unfortunate that we're just a little bit better than you at Overwatch.
Well, then they'll just take more of our talent.
Oh, yeah, well, they can just do that. Just take the entirety of Angry Titans instead. Let's roll out on the map. It's starting on Gardens our first match, and what too much of a surprise to see 3-3, or British Hurricane running a bit of Monkey Goats instead.
Yeah, they have block on the Ana as well.
Looks like they're going to change up, though.
On the Zen, of course, he will have an advantage in being able to pressure out an enemy main tank. British Hurricane not going to swap to the classic 3-3. Instead, it's going to be all about this triple DPS, double support, and a singular tank with Numlocked on the Wrecking Ball. Going to look to try and make an entrance here, clear some space away. Urki's already falling super low when he's down.
Oh, he's dead, mate. He's already gone. That is going to take him out of the game. Padwick can now rain death from above. This is going to be kind of irritating for Angry Titans to actually deal with him. Emil's going to be the only one really on the D.Va defense matrix and hopefully a little bit of damage onto him. Zander just assaulting the backline right now, and that'll be Lolsish going down.
Ooh,
nice little punch into the wall. Emil's gone as well. Point for British Hurricane will be capped in a moment.
And of course, Angry Titans weren't even able to get the first cap there, despite the time that British Hurricane gave them to gain positioning on the point, because of course, the point does not unlock for 30 seconds, and Angry Titans now, they don't want to play the 3-3 into the spam that British Hurricane are going to be offering towards them. They want to swap it up, they want to go over. Instead, over to a DPS-centric composition, double hit scan flanker with the Tracer and the Sombra. They're going to have a lot of difficulty trying to take down Hafikul unless he flies too close to the ground.
Hopefully not. I mean, you could get the hack off, of course, disable those jump jets, and maybe he falls to the ground, but he has got himself a barrage already. Lolsish is going to go down regardless. Spectral's going to have to be very careful. Hafikul can one-shot him if he's not looking out for himself. But with Numlock falling here, it does mean Angry Titans can claim position on the point. No one tanky enough to really to contend with the rest of the Angry Titans players. Fox will go down, though, and soon actually building up towards a Bob now.
Spectral uses recall, give him the Discord orb, quickly taken down. Jofi's not going to last for long, though.
Yeah, no, he's not. He's actually going to fall. Lolsish is going to be able to claim the kill, and Bob is now on point. Emil just trying to decide how he wants to go down. Not to Bob, to the rest of British Hurricane, he decides. And Hafikul has still got that barrage in his back pocket as they try and find the recap, but there's slow members of AT now trickling back onto the point to buy them some more time.
Spectral's return, used his recall. Urki's going to get Hafikul. That's a great start for AT.
Big coalescence as well. Student's going to be in a little bit of trouble here. Urki's going to be able to harass people so much in on this point. Does use the EMP, finds two people. Zander quickly falls as Lolsish secured the kill. Jofi's still able to hover up in the air as he was ulting at the time. Just couldn't dash to anybody. But that did buy so much time for AT, who is still fighting near this point and still in control.
Well, there's the barrage. It's going to claim Lolsish, but nothing else. They have a Transcendence to keep him healed up, but no one was there to try and do the damage, Jaws.
Yeah, Numlock's actually jumped over to the Winston instead. Hafikul trying to find some clean kills now. Sound barrier comes through from AT. Only hitting 3 members, but it might be enough. Foul's going to get quickly chased out. Fat falling and Emil going extremely low should hopefully be the fight win for British Hurricane, but all this time they let the point go so late, so early, sorry, and AT have claimed up to 70% now of the point.
They're still contesting. Spectral eventually is going to get taken down. AFOX going to fade onto there to get a couple of extra percentage points for the same story. Of course, for Emil. Needs to translocate away. And they're just
still doing it.
One after another.
Almost 80%, mate.
Yeah, that means that if Angry Titans can cap the point, they will be in one fight territory. And guess what? They've got themselves another coalescence because AFOX is doing so much healing as he moves through these brawls. And that coalescence is a great anti-air tool, Jaws. Hafikul up in the air needs to be very careful about what kind of spaces he puts himself into. He's going to need some of that horizontal cover to ensure that he can avoid incoming coalescence beams. And Spectral's going to move over to McCree now. Wants to lay down the law of this Icelandic villain. Will not stand for long, but stand a bit longer if he does suffer from that damage fall off. McCree quite notoriously a victim of that at these longer ranges.
Hafikul's got barrage. Numlock's also got the ultimate as well. Bob's going to get unleashed. He puts himself on the point, contesting for the time being. British Hurricane still control. Have 70% now on the board, but Spectral manages to take out Bok. Him end up going down might be a big boon for Angry Titans now. Numlock's trying to get some work done at the back. He kills off Spectral, but has to jump back onto the point. Self-destruct also lands and actually kills off sooner. There is an ulting Mercy in the skies, but this is good for British Hurricane. They're still building up time, and Hafikul is still alive. Use the barrage, is on almost half his way now towards another one.
Excellent avoidance from Numlock's put down another shield, and Hafikul is so close to that barrage. Just needs to hit a couple of directs.
He's not going down anytime soon. Transcendence now committed onto the point. Hafikul can play with all this space. There's a rally going off, but the armor is going to get completely erased by Hafikul, who's just doing so much damage. He now has another barrage, lays it straight on top of AT, ends up at least getting one, but Spectral got back to the fight in time and manages to take him out. A Coalescence will end the fight as Angry Titans try and recap the point.
Maybe a bit frivolous on the use of that Coalescence. Sooners going to reset, has earned himself a pulse when we're looking at final fight here, Jaws. Deadeye has been used. Coalescence has been used. Tank Ultimates, they're going to be wanting for them here. Lolsish isn't going to have a good time cleaving through, considering that he's up against Danid with a rally. Sooners going to give up that pulse one, wants to go over to Vizaya, thinks that in the final fight, Vizaya is going to be the correct play, but it does give up the clutch potential that a Tracer can offer to you. They're going to move on to a point, overtime's going to trigger, and we're in our final fight.
They just want to muscle them out. They just want to be able to put themselves on the point and not go down to Spectral's guns. A beat's going to come through from AT as they do surge forward. Already a DMEC has happened on Hafikul, and Numlock's fighting in the front line. He's got ultimate, but he ends up going down. He actually got stunned, and Urki finished off the kill. Now no front line for British Hurricane as Hafikul loses his mech as well. Urki's on a rampage as he finds two, and Spectral opening up the Deadeye gets punished by Sooner, but it might be all too little too late. Urki found himself another kill, and Mock's going to be able to get back to the point in time, but there's too many members of AT contesting.
Beautiful target focus there from Angry Titans. They got Hafikul first, they got Numlock second, didn't let him use the Primal.
He's going to go down, there's no way. Emil's going to find the kill. A Transcendence round the corner to try to buy some more time, but British Hurricane, they fall at the final hurdle on Gardens, as we do see Angry Titan taking it.
And you got to wonder maybe if Sooner had stayed on that Tracer, what could that Pulse Bomb have done? Obviously, it's a kind of easy ultimate to mitigate with a D.Va Defense Matrix, especially if you're telegraphed. Using multiple blinks to go in towards a target, then recall away afterwards. That also means you can't be as aggressive after you use a Pulse Bomb because you've used so many of your resources putting it in the way. And obviously, you're going up against McCree as well. So you got to worry about the Flashbang, got to worry about Fan the Hammer. Deadeye obviously locks on incredibly fast. 150 HP is not going to last you very long. Effectively, 100 and about 20. If you've got a Discord Orb on you, or if there's a damage boost on the McCree, you can't.
Or even if she's slightly damaged as well.
Yeah, and you can also kill you in a single headshot because that 150 HP pool does not last you at all when you are up against damage boost and Discord.
Going back to same old now. No more DPS on the field just yet, unless you count, of course, the Zenyatta. Avox has just been showing up these past weeks. These initial picks from him have just been so good, and just winning the team fights off the back of him more often than not. Danner's going to find the first kill on Urki, and Spectral also goes down. Angry Titans retreating for the time being. British Hurricane do gain control as Lolsish gets forced into a corner and just turned into ult charge.
Great positioning play there from British Hurricane, ensuring that they could try and split off Spectral and take him on as sort of like a rushing core of three on a lone Zaya. Obviously, you see that personal barrier come out early, try and build up those shields, and after that, the Zaya can become a priority target. Angry Titans are going to try and rotate now through high ground. This means that British Hurricane cannot force an engagement onto them because they have no way of getting up there as a unit. Only Hafikul can really go up there and chase out by himself.
Look how aggressive Numlock's playing, and he can be. He's already got the Earth Shatter online. He's going to lay it down. No one falling to the floor just yet. Numlock does get stunned up a little bit, so can't march forward, but it doesn't really matter too much. Lolsish does end up falling. Does mean Angry Titans are going to have to go again once more. All this time, British Hurricane were building up ults. They've got the self-destruct. They've got the Graviton Surge almost. They're about to unleash a Gigantic combo.
And when we talk about Graviton Surge, Jaws, look at how much charge Spectral has at the moment. He's not been able to do much in these fights. He's often having to try and protect Lolsish, or he gets singled out early and destroyed. That means that Sooner, he's building up his Gravitons so much more quickly, or this singular Graviton at this point. He can use it for an early attack here. Got to make sure he's careful of that defense matrix, though.
Lolsish went so aggressive. Hafikul kills him off yet again. The rally's going to come out, and a grab also comes through. Straight onto Urki's shield, he ends up falling. Maybe not the best use of the grab, but it's still got the work done.
Yeah, I'm going to call that a poor choice there from Sooner. It feels like with Lolsish down, Angry Titans didn't really want to take that fight anyway, and now they're going to be able to come in with their own Gigantic combo, of course, a combination of the Graviton Surge and a self-destruct from Emil. They've been incredibly successful with these throughout the group stage. Obviously, the 6-0 scoreline is testament to that.
Hafikul's in the back line. Wants to pay a little bit of price. Did try no 180 fakey there for the eat. Self-destruct get launched in the air regardless. And a beat and a Transcendence, one from each side. Fats beat's going to run out Marlon momentarily as Avox still has his Transcendence online. Not quite enough to save Lolsish yet again, who's been just a key target for British Hurricane to take down first, because they know Angry Titans cannot fight without him. They're on 95%. AT have to touch. Avox now forced to use the Trans to even buy this some more overtime. Lolsish has Shatter, yes, but Fat just gets taken out through the window, didn't even touch. British Hurricane clean 100-0 on Night Market.
Beautiful play there, and this can be indicative of what the series may be, Jaws, when it comes to straight 3-3 versus 3-3. It looks like they're bullying out Losish right now. Losish hasn't really got to do anything. I think he got an Earth Shadow there that didn't really get to use until overtime, so he's not really having a good time at all. And that would explain why Spectral wasn't able to build up Grav so much, because he was playing a lot more defensively. He knew that he had to try and take care of Losish. He couldn't allow himself to become a target like he was in that first fight. They isolated him so well, so we can't go for that again. But for a second, Spectral sort of like playing in line. He's tight in the turtle formation. We're like, okay, we're just going to smack up the shell, and Losish goes down so quickly.
You have to use those projector barriers as well. He's thinking, oh, I want to use it aggressively so I can get 100 charge. The barriers only provide you 40 charge entirely, so he's kind of sitting on his own one like, okay, I got 40, I kind of need more, but Losish falling so quickly is a bit of an issue.
Well, speaking of needing more, both of our teams need one more stage to claim Lijiang Tower. Once again, Losish trying to get bullied.
There we go. A little bit of comeuppance for Daned. He ends up going down and Fat taking out Numlock. This is the fight that AT wanted. They're still trying to punish the British Hurricane right now. Of course, just making sure Haffy does get staggered for as long as possible. Or maybe not. Obviously, he can contest. What am I thinking about? Angry Titans do end up climbing the point.
Seems like a quick learning experience here from Angry Titans. They realized how aggressive British Hurricane were being, and they've quickly moved in to try and punish that instead. They're like, okay, Daned wants to come in, try and make Losish vulnerable, but while he's doing that, Daned himself is vulnerable. 250 HP when that shield's not up doesn't last you very long at all, especially when you have a Discord orb on you. Losish can swing. Look at Losish's ult charge. He's 30% ahead of Numlocked. If he gets a good fire strike here, he can close down this fight with an Earth Shadow.
Everybody's lining up for him as well. He's already got 80%. Yofi trying to do something rather cheeky and boot Losish into the rest of the team, but Numlock's so low. He had a Discord orb on him. Yofi actually helped Losish in that instance try and get the kill. A nice little pin onto the sidelines as well, and he nets himself an ultimate of his own, although 10% away, not too far at all. Bop is also going to go down. AT just cleaning up the rest of British Hurricane, and they're going to be able to roll ults exactly like British Hurricane were doing on Night Market.
And it's the same story again when it comes to the Graviton Surge. It's the other way around this time. Sooner is far behind Spectral because he cannot stay behind Numlock's shield for too long. They're getting so aggressive on Losish. Yofi comes in, he demands resources to survive, and what is that Graviton Surge, Jaws? I'm going to call shenanigans on that. Spectral just coming in with I don't even need this. I'm just going to throw this away, and now you can try.
Yeah, Student's got it online, of course. Haffy has the bomb. Got to be rather careful now. A little bit more cautious unless Losish lays down the hammer. He does and finds two. Nice little flame strike actually to finish off Bok, but Sooner ends up going down. Two members dead for British Hurricane, and Angry Titans unleash the beats. Numlock hits the hammer to the ground, but he ends up going down as well, as the Shatter did end up going into Losish's shield. 80 now chasing British Hurricane all the way back to their spawn, as they've got almost 80% now.
Indeed they do. It's looking like the last dire straits here for British Hurricane, Jaws. They need to leverage this ult bank that they've built. They invested both for Earth Shadow and the Rally in that last fight. They're not going to be available now, but they do have this mountain of ultimates. They've got both their major support ultimates. They've got the Graviton self-destruct combo, and they're only going to be able to answer it with a Transcendence.
95 building up to 99 in a couple of seconds. The Graviton Surge gets launched in. Losish, the main recipient of it. The beat comes through as the self-destruct does land. Losish ends up going down, and AFOX going to help the rest of his team survive for the time being. But AT are going to get routed. Emil's going to kill himself. Fat also going to fall. AT only need to win one fight now. British Hurricane, they need to be perfect in order to claim this first map.
Angry Titans may have been routed, but the road for British Hurricane walked down extracts a heavy toll, Jaws. 3 ultimates were expended there to guarantee that capture. They used the sound barrier, especially when Hafika was out of his mech. They knew that they needed that remech, so the 150 HP Pilot Diva was given the overshield, ensured, of course, that Numlock could continue to swing into the Graviton as well. Urki can bring everyone forward here with the Rally. He's going to have a slight advantage over Danny, but Boki can always answer that out with the Trance. There's the Rally and the aggression.
They could go with a more of an eco push here, just try and build ults for the next fight. Doesn't look like they want to, though. 30% now for British Hurricanes. They continue to gain capture percentage. Losish now has a Shatter as he blocks Numlock. Got to be careful now. Transcendence is going to go off for British Hurricane to make sure they survive. AT just need to make sure they survive for long enough. Self-destruct can't be mixed with this grab just yet, as they both end up separating both teams. Losish and Urki end up going down, though. AT will once again go for the reset, but British Hurricane, their capture percentage is looking a little bit more healthy, up to 50. I
got to give the credit to Sooner there, Jaws. He got the perfect clutch bubble onto Numlock. We saw Numlocked. He got grabbed to the pillar, would have been in a very perilous position. Losish, instead of swinging at him, decides to go for the long pin, and this gives Sooner enough time to perfectly time the barrier so that it would just dissipate upon the pin, give him 40 extra energy, save Numlock's life, and also allow Numlock to be in a position to counter out a Losish Shatter, which now he's going to look for again, but he's got such little shield health. There's so much pressure.
He's all on Numlock right now. The beat's going to come through as well. Losish can play so aggressive. A self-destruct is launched into the air by Happy-Cool when he gets taken down as he was in Baby Diva form. Shadow's going to hit the floor as well. It's like 4 people go down. AT are going to destroy British Hurricane on the points. They're going to claim command center and claim control.
The inexorable tide of Angry Titans rolls on forward and crashes against the cliffs that is British Hurricane. But unfortunately, the erosion was too strong. Numlock Shield wasn't there. A 4-man Shadow seals the deal. Lolsish definitely getting revenge for the cyberbullying that took place on Night Market.
Yeah, and Haffy went down so early as well. He launched a self-destruct in, trying to find a cheeky pick here or there, or at least force some pressure on Lolsish's shield, but it was dead. You were dead. Like, you're a Baby Diva, you have to hide. And Angry Titans sniffed him out. They were able to find him, kill her off, and that was it. No Diva, no fight.
Yeah, and once you see that self-destruct go up into the air, you either have the option to back off and sort of like reconsolidate your position, or you can get aggressive. And it wasn't really sort of telegraphed what Angry Titans were going to do. They decided to sort of take the positioning on the point, and then British Hurricane had to roll on into them.
We're going to jump to a quick break, guys. Do not go anywhere. Kings Row coming up soon. Hey guys, welcome back after that very short break. AT versus Hurricane. If you've only just joined us, AT are a map up right now as we go into King's Row, Hurricane's home turf.
It's a hard-fought victory, though. It's going to be, of course, like you said, home turf for British Hurricane, King's Row, across London. But when we look back at Legday Tower, it was, of course, 2-1, and one of those in British Hurricane's favour was basically 100-0. It feels like there's a lot of momentum in this series that's going to be shifting back and forth. And now, British Hurricane, they need to recapture that. They need to find what they're going to do to continue to sort of like do what they did on Night Market, which was continually exploit Lolsish and continually get these main tank kills, which often opened up those 3-3 fights. It felt like on Command Center that Lolsish was playing a lot more reservedly. He didn't want to go for those swings. He was just going to play safe and allow Spectral and Urky to really make the space necessary.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of maps you're comfortable on as well. Maybe that was one of Lolsish's weaker maps of all of them. Now we head on to King's Row, a little less snowbally than Control is. Normally in Control you do see the team that does capture first. More often than not they will win, just because it's so hard to attack a control point. It's extremely easy to kind of defend and then build up ults. Easy ultimate charge when people are kind of running into you, right? And then you have the safety of backing off to the point as well, where the attacking team, not so much. They can just back off their spawn, but then they're losing more time. King's Row, not quite like that. And there's a lot of the interesting things you can run on King's Row as well. You can go more aggressive, double sniper, of course. You can go for something like a spam comp on the defense. We've seen a little bit as well with things like Junkrat, sorry.
We've seen Arrestas as well often hold up on the high ground, making use of that curved shield to really create a space where it's very hard to assail the defenders. But what that can often lead to is that they have trouble contesting a point instead. They've got to rely on their D.Va going down there, but often they don't have the correct resources to really heal up a D.Va who's in that situation. British Hurricane on the defense, they're going to be playing it safe today, Jules. They're going for the 3-3 with the Zenyatta, so they will be best prepared to go up against an enemy 3-3, which should show the same thing off. And that looks like exactly what Angry Titans are going to be rolling out here with. Both of our teams have had success in the 3-3 versus 3-3 matchup on Legday Tower, so we'll have to see if one's going to come out ahead here on King's Row.
Nice little bit of take there from Lolsish. Didn't want to give the charge over to Sooner, so he did Flame Strike in midair. Kind of like half channel it and then just flick upwards. They're going to run straight, head on first into Numlocked. Foul going a little bit too aggressive though. Tried to wall ride and get a boop on, but unfortunately, he's got booped into the ground. Lolsish and Urky are also going to go down. Quick reset though. Not too far away are the spawns, of course.
Yeah, those boops are a double-edged skate, George. You go in, you can get that boop, you can absolutely doom an enemy main tank, but at the same time, if you are too low, you can get caught out by the knockback of a hammer swing, and that can often stall your momentum and leave you in no man's land with no recourse except to just be melted down. You've only got 200 HP. Even if you get given that armor pack, that resource will not be available for the rest of your team now as well. You can see Yofi ready to come in and get that boop himself, but he's got much better positioning here. Going to be very hard to catch him out.
Yeah, unless a break just like whip shots him. Oh, that's extremely low. No, I'm not going to have to be careful. He's going to have to amp speed and amp heals at the same time. Just flicker between the two. Shadow's going to come out. That's a big one. 5. Transcendence not available. Bot can't do anything. Numlock's going to go down. Graviton Surge is going to get thrown in by Hurricane to salvage what they can at this point. Lolsish is falling pretty low, but he's got the rest of his team to back him up. And now Lolsish just devastating the back line, pushing them away. No one is actually falling for British Hurricane, though. Amir's going to have to try and defense Matrix Lolsish out, but Jofi managed to get the kill. And now a grab's been invested by Spectral, and a Transcendence is going to follow up to make sure British Hurricane could actually stay alive.
Excellent, there is the Earth Shadow. It's going to take down Spectral. Can they get the kill?
I think they can. Spectral's going to fall. Angry Titans, they found the perfect start, the perfect picks. Not done yet, though, at ATL, just running headfirst into them once more. Numlock's going to have to back off, but a perfect beat from Yofi, and an armor pack as well onto Numlock, keeping him alive.
He did it again.
Another big shatter from Lolsish. He's really want to make this first point worth it.
And Yofi does get that shield, will survive the pin, but Dan is caught in a corner, needs to try and get some help here. Not going to get any.
Almost okay, but not quite enough. Lolsish just walked towards him, pressed down one. He ended up going down. Yofi's also going to fall, but Happy was still stalling at the point at that in that time. Hurricane finally end up backing off. Angry Titans are going to be able to secure or at least a couple of ticks. We'll see if British Hurricane do want to go for this re-engage.
It's by the high-energy shenanigans of Sooner that managed to stay as long as it did. He played a very effective and scary front line for Angry Titans to try and run into with all of that energy, as well as having a personal barrier, which you can see he's just expended for his next fight. British Hurricane got good spawns, Jaws. They're very close to this archway. It's a really good point of map geometry to take the defense. You can create two artificial micro chokes either side of a payload, forcing the enemy to either platform over it or go through those narrow chokes and reveal themselves to something like the Mortars or the Fire Strikes take huge amounts of damage.
There's the rally. Speed boost as well, straight onto Numlock. Happy Cool in no man's land. He has to back out. The rest of British Hurricane are now split. Angry Titans can corral them, but British Hurricane doing a good job of just reconvening nearer that payload, stopping its momentum for the time being. Soon as 100 energy, but Numlock ends up going down. Soon it didn't have a bubble for him. A grab gets thrown in, but Emil says thank you and eats it all up. Happy Cool's bomb goes literally nowhere as Losish now pushing forwards. Bocket is also going to stall himself on the payload, but that eat and grab, that was the momentum stopper they were after.
And that is a why?
Oh dear.
That was a tragic fight for British Hurricane because they invested so many ultimates. They invested all 3 of their offensive playmakers. They used for Earth Shatter, they used for Graviton Surge, they used for Self-Destruct, and none of them could really get any purchase there thanks to some great mitigation. Emil eating up that grab possibly will have given Angry Titans this next point as well, because Spectral now can use his own Graviton Surge and he's so far ahead of Suna. But what you got to worry about...
And they have shouts.
Oh, there we go.
That's what you have to be worried about, Harry. Another defense matrix. Happy Cool eating that one up, maybe halting the momentum of AT. They still got an Earth Shatter as they lay it down. Beat's going to come through as well, but Happy Cool in the back line, playing Assassin, takes out Losish. And now Hurricane said, you wait 1, Willie 1-2, and stops Angry Titans in their tracks.
Yeah, you really wish you'd had that Transcendence about right now, right, George?
Yeah, oh yeah, I kind of wish we did. They both have beat as well. That was the thing. You beat and then Transcendence a little bit later. Maybe you win, but Losish falling is disaster. Soonest has got another grab yet, Harry, but Angry Titans taking a bit of a reserved route there.
Yeah, the winning card here, of course, will be the Graviton Surge, but Emil's going to be hungry for that one. Has the Self-Destruct ready. The Transcendence is ready for Afox as well. He's earned yet another one of those since that last sort of fat-fingered attempt. British Hurricane looking pretty stacked on the defense as well. 4 ultimates ready to go. They have such a strong position around this corner. They're going to have to try and evict Numlock, who can get a load of physical cover for himself here. Does not need to expend any shield, but there it is. For rotation from Angry Titans.
The big wraparound. Graviton Surge gets thrown in straight onto Numlock. He goes low, but still has the Shatter. A Transcendence to save him, but Spectral still finds a kill. Self-Destruct's on top of Angry Titans. One ends up going down. Spectral falling still doesn't mean the fight is over just yet. Daned using the rally to make sure British Hurricane a little bit more hardier in the face of danger. AT, they finally end up losing this one. Losish ends up going down. 2 grabs expended. Hurricane come out on top.
And I got a little bit mental, Jaws. Let's take stock of what is remaining. Time, Jaws. 1 minute and 10 seconds here for Angry Titans. Emil was forced to take the long walk off the long gantry into the Omnic Underground below in order to reset himself and regain that mech. He will have about 22% of the way towards his ultimate, but Numlock here is so close to that Earth Shatter, but he knows he cannot quite match Losish yet. That means Losish can be so much more aggressive. He cannot allow Numlock the opportunity to go for these swings and freely gain himself that ultimate. That's going to be a pretty fat Fire Strike, but Afox already down. You've got to back off now.
That's a big pick. Look at British Hurricane. They're trying to punish AT for every step that they overstepped as they end up going back to their original point and their original spawn. Got a couple of ults online, but Spectral is so far away. 50%, to be fair, Suna is as well. Equal kind of charge on the Earth Shatters. Numlock's going to be able to get this one, no problem. He's only 10% away.
Look where the carts move back to as well. This might not be a one-fight wonder to even get second point. And already, British Hurricane going to cede away a little bit of that space. So they don't want to take the one fight, they want to take it in the position where they are best suited to it. Losish is looking for it.
Hurricane's got 2 support ults. Cancelled Shatter, and he ends up going down. He's punished for it as well. AT have got 5 seconds now to get back on this payload. That's a big Shatter from Numlock. It's all over. They've stopped him in the streets. British Hurricane, this is their home. They're going to be on the offense now, and they've only got to make it 97 meters to tie the series up.
Well, Angry Titans, we should have checked that special weather warning because of British Hurricane. It's blowing quite a strong gale at them, Jaws. And there, Losish, he knew he had to be the playmaker. He had to come in, hit a fat Shatter, but he got caught out so easily by Daned. It's like, you appear to be walking through my Reinhardt shield. Whatever could you be doing? Goes for the Earth Shatter, instant shield slam. He barely even started the animation. That's how precise the timing from Daned was. He was just in his head. Losish there, unfortunately, very much punished. And when you lose that consistent shielding, you can check. Has Spectral used bubbles, guys? Oh, Spectral used bubbles. Well, I guess we'll go for a 4-man Shadow event, easy cleanup. And now, Angry Titans are in a very perilous position. British Hurricane's win condition isn't that hard at all. Get the first point, get about most of the way to second, and that will do you good to tie up the series.
The thing that's going to be on Angry Titan's side is the spawns in that instance. Not the furthest away, really, when you think about it. Especially when you're someone like a Lucio, of course, who can move fairly quickly. A Diva as well.
It's nothing like Hollywood, though.
Yeah, Hollywood is, yeah, you lose that, you're done. Like, there's absolutely not. Get away. Goodbye.
Go away. Although British Hurricane here are going to be able to, of course, have a little bit of dalliance on their first attack. They could have, of course, the scouting here of Sooner and Danid with these snipers. You could look for an early pick. You have the time to play with that at the moment because you do obviously have 4 minutes to take the first point, and after that you'll get an extra 2.5 to take the second. Right now, they're just hovering on a couple of things, but Angry Titans, they're going to what is known and true, the 3-3, which has served them so well. They are 6-0, remember. Hasn't failed them yet.
Neither is British Hurricane. Couple of maybe a scouting arrow from Danid, like you said. Havoc running out on the Sombra too. Maybe they just ran out with this. They are sticking on it a little bit longer than you'd normally see. Transagate has been put down by Havoc. You can see in your bottom left. And he is going for the big flank. Danid switching over, though. He is going to the Brigitte, so it's just going to be Sombra 3-3 for British Hurricane right
Inspiration gain from Contenders' career. Quite a few good Sombras there. And Havoc is a very notable DPS player. He used to play for Fnatic. Already he's all over Afox.
Look at this. Afox going low. He had the Discord orb on him as well for a brief moment. Losish ends up going down. This is a perfect start from British Hurricane. They're down a tank technically because they have Havoc, but they still managed to wing out the tank battle in the front line. Losish falling is disaster for AT. They're going to have to back off. Emil going down as well just signals the end of this first point. British Hurricane should be able to find the cap. They got 2 ticks already.
Afox is going to be evacuated. It's going to be Yofi trying to look for 1v2, but he quickly comes out of that.
They're going to go for the re-engagement right head first into British Hurricane, who have already capped the point, and Sooner just right-clicking in. He's got more. That's a quadra kill. And he's almost got himself a Graviton Surge. Harry, this could be it for Angry Titans if they're not careful.
And they just gave up that archway too, Jaws. We talked about it before, the micro chokes, the platforming that you potentially have to do to get through there. That's not going to be an option for Angry Titans. They've got to move on back. They've got to take a secondary attempt at engagement. But Havic's already behind them. Losish is hacked. British Hurricane looking stacked with ults. They're looking thick. They're looking tight. They're looking solid. And Angry Titans currently nowhere to be seen in terms of impeding this cart progress.
They've got the Graviton Surge, and maybe they can earn themselves an Earth Shatter off of it. Transcender's coming online soon as well, but Happy Call has got EMP, uses it, no support ults to follow up. Angry Titans just blown to smithereens as British Hurricane continue to move this payload. It's a couple of meters away from gaining them a win on this map.
That could be it already. Sooner when he sees people approaching, he can hit them up in the Graviton Surge. He sees an attempt maybe from Fat to touch. Just go for the solo grab. That may be all you need.
This is it.
There's Afox. You can't touch,
You cannot touch on the payload. It's done. You can't just sneak through that choke when there's a grab there. You're going to get sucked in. Hurricane, one fight wonder almost on King's Row, net themselves the map win and tie the series up 1 apiece.
Beautiful management there. I love putting Havoc all over onto the Sombra. It was a look that we hadn't really seen that much before, and very much caught Losish off guard when they were trying to catch those spawners from the second point. Angry Titans, I've got to put that down to the decision to go for the potential contest on the first point when it seemed like it was so very fully lost. And they didn't even get to touch before it was capped, so they gave up that first archway, and that's such a good defensive position. Only got themselves 1 fight as well.
It's 1 fight. And Spectral, he threw the grab and he was like, oh, wait. There's an EMP coming out after us. There's no way we can do anything. We didn't have a support ult because our Zen was also caught in the EMP. And that was all that was needed. Hurricane were just sitting on ults at the end of it all as well. Couple of replays from the previous 2 maps. And one thing we haven't actually mentioned just yet is the fact that Hurricane have got a couple of people on their bench. They've got Sparker ready and raring to go. We're about to go on to Horizon and then Junkertown later on. He's a fantastic hit scan player, a real prodigy on things like Widowmaker. Are Angry Titans prepared for it?
Ash too, Jaws, and Ash is so popular. Of course, in these bunker comps that you can see on Horizon Lunar Colony, because for high ground positions, the defense can muster are so strong. And here I've really got to call out Angry Titans' choice to engage on the streets phase when they were defending. It seemed like they put themselves in a position where they'd be so easy to EMP because they were all moving through that narrow corridor, as if they'd held on the corner where British Hurricane decided to just before that final point. You could have seen Afox sort of playing off-roll, like over by the Mega Health Pack past where the second checkpoint is, and that would have given him some sufficient cover to use that Transcendence to support his team after an EMP, but it feels like they weren't really checking for that.
Well, doesn't seem like they were expecting. It was like, no way he's got EMP. That fight was cleaned up so quickly. Turns out he did, and turns out it actually won British Hurricane the map. We're going to jump to a quick break there, guys. Do not go anywhere. We've got Horizon coming up next.